Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here. On today's head-to-head, it's a Michigan IPA showdown. Head-to-head is a new series of videos where I'll be comparing beers of a similar style. I'm going to rank them accordingly. For the first installment, we have a super duper extra special episode, a triple header, a head-to-head-to-head with my current Michigan favorite IPA, Bell's Two-Hearted, and then I have Huma Lupa Licious here, and Blackrocks 51k. Now, I've had two of these beers before. Obviously, I've had Two-Hearted as it's my favorite, but I've had Huma Lupa Licious recently, and I've really started to notice that it has this real similar taste to Two-Hearted. But then we have 51k by Blackrocks, which is just a mystery to me. I've never had it. I've heard a lot of great things about it, but today will be my first taste of it. So again, I'm just really interested to compare each one of these, see which one I like more, see how they stack up against each other. So I'm going to take a look at all three of these, but I have three different glasses here, and what I'm going to do is I am going to pour these beers, I'm going to smell them, and then I'm going to taste them back to back, rather than pouring one, smelling it, pouring one, smelling it. I'm just going to pour them all, then I'm going to smell them all, and then I'm going to taste them all, and then you're going to get my unadulterated opinion on that. So just to we'll look at these cans real quick. This is a Huma Lupa Licious can. I wanted to try and get them all in cans, but it wasn't easy for me to get Two-Hearted without buying like a six-pack, and I didn't want to do that, so I just got a single. But I wanted to make sure that all these dates were, kind of close together in proper alignment, so we're not getting one that's really old and one that's really fresh, and maybe that would have some kind of weight on where I was going to judge this. So I wanted to get them as close as I could. This Huma Lupa Licious is, the date's kind of smudged on here, but it looks like it's May 12th, 2018. This Bell's is May 21st, 2018, and this Blackrocks is April 30th, 2018. So they're really within like a couple weeks of each other. And this, I'm recording this on Father's Day, Sunday, June 17th. So each one has been about a month old, which I think that's probably in the sweet spot. You want to probably try these within the month, or at least that's the kind of common knowledge, is to try an IPA as soon as possible, as fresh as possible. So we're going to open the Huma Lupa Licious first. I'm not going to smell these out of their vessels. I'm just going to go ahead and pour it. No smell. So that is pouring nice. It's got a nice kind of orangey color to it. Huma Lupa Licious. I'm going to put the can behind it. Huma Lupa Licious is nice, and it's actually got a little bit of floaties in there, a little bit of particulate floating in there, but it's relatively clear. It's not hazy. It's got a nice kind of white head, nice and compact bubbles. It just has a nice kind of yellow orangish color to it. Now we're going to do Two-Hearted, which I have to get the bottle opener for. And again, has the fish on the cap, which I think they've just started recently doing within the last couple of years. I don't think the old ones had that. It might have just had the old Bell's bottle or caps. Let's pour this. This looks to be a little bit lighter than Huma Lupa Licious. Gotta set that down. It's gonna be hard for me to do these close-ups like I usually do, just because I'm gonna set these cans down below, and I'll keep track of which one is which. And yeah, so the color on this one, there's a lot more carbonation floating to the top. It's a little bit clearer than the Huma Lupa Licious was, but it's a similar color. This is a shade lighter, it looks like, maybe just barely. And then Blackrocks 51k. Blackrocks I believe out of Marquette. Yes, brewed in Marquette, Michigan. And this glass is a little bit different, but I think for these intents and purposes, it should all be kind of on a level playing field. And then again, 51k here on the end. And again, a lot of carbonation, good carbonation on this. I got about a finger's worth of head, whereas the other ones are a little bit less head. A really nice head, though some of the bubbles look a little bit larger on this one. Again, this is about the same color consistency, a little bit, maybe a little, it's in between. Two-Hearted was the clearest. I think this is next, and then Huma Lupa Licious is last. So just to recap, we have Huma Lupa Licious, we have Bell's Two-Hearted, and we have Blackrocks 51k. So let's give Huma Lupa Licious the smell first. It's got a nice bright kind of sweet scent to it. I'm picking up a nice malty quality. I'm going to go ahead and taste it, and then we'll compare it each. So nice sweet up front, malty quality, scent-wise. It's kind of bright, a little bit of a citrusy, orangey kind of taste. Cheers. So it's a little bit bitter up front. There is that maltiness in there. It kind of almost hits you with the maltiness first. You get like a maltiness, a malty sweetness, and then that kind of subsides into this piney bitterness. It does have that kind of sprucey maltiness though, right before it hits that bitterness. So that's what Huma Lupa Licious has going for it. Let's go Two Hearted now. These have all been refrigerated since I got them. They haven't been out of the refrigerator, so all just letting you know that they've all been stored in the same refrigerator, same temperature, same everything. Maybe a little bit more of a malty scent out of this one than I got out of Huma Lupa Licious. Yeah, this has a little bit more of a kind of a really slight citrus character note to it. This one, though, a little less bright smelling, but a little bit more malty smelling. So let's go ahead and give it a taste. Very malty up front. Sweet with just a little bit of an alcohol taste to it. But it has like that maltiness, and that follows up with a little bit more of a citrusy, piney hoppiness. Yeah, and a little, maybe a tiny bit of earthy hoppiness to it, but I think I'm getting a little bit more citrus, but really, I mean, still heavily pine. A hair more citrus notes out of this one, out of Two Hearted than out of Huma Lupa Licious. And then here's the dark horse candidate here. It is Blackrocks 51k, which I have never had before. This one smells, so I thought Huma Lupa Licious smelled a little bit more citrusy, had a little bit more of a brighter scent to it, whereas Two Hearted was a little bit more malty. This one is even brighter, I feel, than Huma Lupa Licious. Let's give it a taste. This one has a little bit more of an earthy note. On the hoppiness is a little bit more earthy. It's almost like you get that earthy bitterness mixed in with the maltiness though. So they're all really super similar. I actually brought a water here I'm going to take a sip of before I take my next drink, and I'll just cut it right here. So it's real. They're all really super similar, super close together. They all taste very similar, and they just have these really slight variations that are different. So I feel like I need to take a drink of water, take another drink, so I can get a little bit more of kind of a palate cleanser. So we're going to go first off with Huma Lupa Licious here by Shorts. As this starts to warm, I'm picking up a little bit more of the maltiness. So I'm getting the maltiness a little bit later, and then the bitterness kind of hits in just after that. Yeah. Okay, so I still think I still like Two Hearted a little bit better than I like Huma Lupa Licious. I think they're really close. I think if you don't have Two Hearted, if Huma Lupa Licious is available, you're not steering yourself wrong by any means by picking Huma Lupa instead of a Two Hearted. But I still think I like Two Hearted a little bit more. I like kind of the malty profile a little bit more. I like the hoppy profile a little bit more. You get a little bit more of the citrus and a little bit of a piney kind of aftertaste that kind of blends in with the maltiness. So I'm going to say out of these two, I'm going to pick Two Hearted over Huma Lupa Licious, but let's do Blackrocks and we'll see then. I'll see which one I like better between Blackrocks and Huma Lupa, and then we'll kind of we'll be able to figure it out a little bit better. Yeah, Blackrocks just has a little bit more, has a nice sweet characteristic up front that I like, that I'm not really necessarily picking up from Huma Lupa. Let's try it one more time though. Wow, these guys are all so very similar. All right, so this is Blackrocks. We're going to put it up against, we're going to say Bell's for right now, is it's kind of taking the leader position. So let's do Blackrocks. Again, it has that earthy kind of hoppiness that I like about it, which I don't get so much out of the two of these. But not so much maltiness, I guess. Yeah, there's something about the back end of Huma Lupa that I'm not picking up on the other two. And it's this different kind of malt profile that I'm not picking up between these other two. And it has this kind of like, has this sweet tangerine kind of maltiness in there, this sweetness in the malt that I like a lot, but I can't put my finger on it like hits right before the bitterness, and it just kind of seeps in there. And I think it's a little bit more has to do with the warming effect as it just kind of warms up. As it warms up, that maltiness, that malty profile is kind of being pulled more and more out. So the more it warms, the more I'm picking it up. And the more that I pick it up, the more that that's kind of the thing I'm zeroing in on and that I'm keying in on that I'm liking a little bit more. Let's go with Blackrocks one more time. Yeah, it's just got this sweetness that the Blackrocks 51k just has this sweetness that hits, and then the maltiness kind of, it's a little bit muted. Now that I've been trying these, so close to each other, I feel like I'm not picking up on the maltiness as much as I did just right off the bat with the 51k. So if I'm going to choose between Huma Lupa Licious and 51k, I think I'm going to go with Huma Lupa Licious. I know that I haven't had 51k very much. Obviously, this is the first time I've had it, so I don't have a whole lot of experience with it. And I don't have a whole lot of experience with Huma Lupa Licious either. I kind of am leaning a little bit more towards Huma Lupa Licious. So between the two, they're both very good. It's splitting hairs. It's like splitting an atom to kind of determine which one I like better with these two, because they're so very similar. All three of these are really similar. Again, this is just kind of an exercise to see what I like the most out of these three. So I think since I know that I like the Two Hearted better than I liked Huma Lupa Licious, I think the kind of order, the hierarchy here is going to be really pretty obvious, glaringly obvious from what I've already said. But I think first off, I'm going to take the Bell's Two Hearted would be my #1 Michigan IPA, right? Then really close second is the Shorts Huma Lupa Licious, and then in third, but a super close third, is Blackrocks 51k. Now, all these beers, I think, let's see. Huma Lupa Licious, I'm not really sure the ABV right off the top of my head because it's not on the can. Two Hearted is at 7%, and 51k is, let's see what it says, 7%. So this Two Hearted and 51k are both at 7%. So, they're so totally close to each other. Again, splitting hairs to pick a winner. But again, I think I'm going to go in this order. Bell's Two Hearted, Shorts Huma Lupa Licious, and Blackrocks 51k. Now, again, I don't think you can go wrong with any of these three beers. You'll have a good time with any of these. If you like IPAs, if you like Michigan, that kind of Midwest malty IPA, I think you're not going to lose with any of these three. But just for my choice, I would go Bell's Two Hearted, Shorts Huma Lupa Licious, and Blackrocks 51k. All right, friends, that is my first video in the head-to-head series. Which one of these are your favorites? Have you had all three of these, or do you have another favorite? Let me know in the comments down below, and while you're down there, don't forget to like, share, or subscribe so you don't miss out on any of this Michigan beer content. You can also find links to my social media, some merch, and my blog at drafttherapy.com. If you have other ideas on something that you'd like to see head-to-head, like two different beers, the same style, let me know also in the comments down below, and I'll do my best to get each one of those kind of beers and put it through its paces. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by, and remember, drink craft beers, support your local breweries wherever they are, and don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching. Cheers.